Hello, everyone. So I wrote my journal article in an article called What No One Told Me About Classroom Management as a New Teacher by Carol Ann Tomlinson. And here she discusses what she learned as a first time teacher. When she began teaching in 1968, she was given no classroom management skills before entering into a very rowdy classroom with students engaging in all types of inappropriate behaviors. So she referred to her instincts instead, and with her instincts, she was able to lay a foundation for a form of classroom management, and she maps it out into 4 lessons that she learned over all her years and even her first year as a teacher. So, her first point was to see, hear, value, and accept each student as an individual, meaning caring obviously as a student as a whole and not just test scores and how well they listen, but actually caring about them as an individual. She talks about how she genuinely liked her students, and she showed that in the way that she was enthusiastic about being there and kind to them and all of those things. Her other points discussed how effective teaching leads to effective classroom management. So, how if we're teaching effectively and we're using the right methods and the students are learning, we'll have easier classroom management. There will be less behaviors because a lot of times when students are struggling with the content, we see that in the way that they behave. So the other was teaching should be structured in the service of learning. That's to say that we're not so focused on follow all of the rules, don't break a single rule, little minor stuff that we don't focus that the main point of them being there is for them to learn. And sometimes they'll feel unsafe in an environment where they feel so confined to constantly having to be perfect instead of, again, being more focused on them learning. And the last lesson was that to plan proactively if a lesson goes south. So she used an example where she planned to teach the students about the ancient medieval history. None of the students were interested. She noticed right away, and so she also noticed that all the students were Protestant. So from there, she was able to instead skip to Reformation, where they found more interest and acknowledge different forms of religions. So her whole viewpoint is about a humanistic view on teaching, which I definitely agree with and will more than likely show in my classroom. I do believe in modeling positive behavior, caring about students as a whole and not just how well they do on a test, and also acknowledging misbehavior, that it usually there's something behind it, and to not just look at that student as a bad kid, but what are they trying to portray from the behavior. So yeah, that's what my journal article was about.